Hello everybody, welcome to the rebuild. Today we're going to be rebuilding the Chicago Bears, and we're basically going to blow by the first year, head into the draft where I have the infamous Caleb Williams. I would like to show you guys prospects, just what we're dealing with here. So Caleb Williams is a top 5 projection. Obviously looks like the next Patrick Mahomes, if you will. Already getting those comparisons, and we never thought that we'd see anything like it. Caleb Williams coming out in one of the next draft classes after we never thought we'd see a Patrick Mahomes again. So the way he's trending, it looks really good, and he has a really good chance at being that #1 overall pick. Although he has said if it's not the right situation, like the Cardinals, then he might consider staying in college another year, which is crazy that you could do that. And he's not thirsty for money because of the NIL. So we'll see what happens, obviously, in real life. But in this simulation rebuild of mine for the Chicago Bears, I think that we've seen enough from Justin Fields. In my opinion, as a Packers fan, I think we've seen enough. All right, so we're gonna need more competition. So give me Caleb Williams on the Chicago Bears to see how this translates. Like I said, we will just basically skip past the first year, head straight to the draft and whatnot. We go 4-13, which is really good for us because I was hoping not to be too good or super amazing or anything like that. So we'll simulate shit to the off season. 4-13 puts us in a great spot to draft a guy like Caleb Williams, you'd say. Players ready to negotiate. We have guys like Jalen Johnson, Darnell Mooney. Justin Fields will not accept his option, and so I'll go ahead and go through some of these and just sign back the ones I want. Really, so we got most of our important guys back, guys like Yannick Ngakoue, Justin Jones, Darnell Mooney, Chase Claypool, but Jalen Jones refused to sign even though I gave him more than enough, and we just didn't accept Justin Fields good old 5th-year option. So go after Jalen Johnson. Again, we have the top offer on him and Leonard Williams to come in and play D tackle for us. Even though he's listed at right end, we'd move him to tackle because we're in a 4-3, and then Avonte Maddox for corner just for another year or whatever. So we'll go ahead and evaluate these offers and see who we can get. We got Leonard Williams and Avonte Maddox, and we're still the top for Jalen Johnson. We will evaluate one more time, and no Jalen Johnson. So good thing we got Avonte Maddox. And here we are. We have the #1 and 2 overall pick, which is clinically nuts. I didn't expect that. I didn't really think about it too much. I forgot we even had 2 first-round picks, and our first overall pick will of course be the Caleb Williams pick. I mean, there's just no reason we shouldn't. So give me Caleb frickin' Williams. Should have more than 91 throw power in my opinion. All right, like 93 would probably be my sweet spot, but that's that. I don't really follow college football too much. And then for the second pick here, obviously you're like, Marvin Harrison, get Marvin Harrison. I like Brock Bowers here, but Marvin Harrison is where is Marvin? Oh, Marvin's down here. Oh my lord. For me, it's between 3 people. It's Brock Bowers, Jared Verse, and obviously down the board Marvin Harrison a little bit. So we'll see what we can get for the second overall pick, because I wouldn't mind trading down even just a couple and acquiring quite a few picks. Like even this first pick right here, this first offer, 4 picks down the board, we get a first in 2 years, which I'd be more than thrilled with. And then right here we can get a couple of firsts. Here's another offer for like an extra first, whatever, all this good stuff. I'm looking to just trade down a few spots, and that would be what 6 is. So let's go Minnesota Vikings, and we'll make that deal official, get a first in 2 years. So Jared Verse, one of my players that I wanted, went off at this spot, and then hopefully, okay, so Brock Bowers goes off at this spot, leaving just Marvin Harrison Jr. left, and hopefully he doesn't get taken here. He doesn't. And then we're going to take another gamble. They're fine at receiver. Do not take my Marvin Harrison Jr. So we trade down to 6, get another first round pick 2 years down the line, and still come out with Marvin Harrison Jr. Feels unfair. 6'4", 205, Ohio State receiver, runs in the 4.3s in this. I'm not sure what he'll run in real life. Obviously, no one really does at this point. Marvin Harrison Jr., welcome to the Chicago Bears, and you have one of the best quarterbacks in the league as your quarterback. I don't know. I feel kind of bad. Might trade Justin Fields too. Could be kind of fun. I've heard great things about Carmen Kitchens or Kingens. I don't really know like the exact way to say it, as he's been really good, and I wouldn't mind having a player like him. He is a hybrid type, and so I don't know if his zone coverage will be all that great, but I would assume it is. It is not a generated draft class, and someone made this, so I'd be more than happy with a guy like Carmen Kinchens. And Eddie Jackson's getting to that age, so let's go Carmen Kinchens out of Miami. Ooh, Deion Childs down the board too. I mean, Ohio State with Iboka, right? That's Emiga Iboka, whatever his name is. Don't get mad at me. All right, but we got him, Marvin Harrison, and then now Deion Childs. I don't know. I don't think I've heard of Childs. Like I said, I don't follow college football, but he looks really good. Kirk McHell. We could bring USC teammates together, and he looks fine. A to C man coverage, man-to-man archetype. Give me Kirk McHell down the board. He'll be pretty good. Another hidden development player. Love to see that. Ooh, this guy down the board from Washington State. 6'6", 318, 23 years of age. A awareness, C impact blocking. Poor strength, obviously not great, but he looks worth the pick here. Let's get Lamont Oliver, since he's not an athlete at all. Oh my God. CPU will take the rest, and we'll look at the draft recap. Draft recap. What do we get? Caleb Williams at a 77. Stop sucking, dude. What is this? I'm upgrading him myself. Caleb Williams. We obviously have a Caleb Williams hater making this freaking thing, because there's no way in hell you are logistically thinking, yes, let's make Caleb Williams a 77 overall. No, he's just not. Marvin Harrison, 79. Carmen Kinjins is a 74. He'll sit for a year, and then Kirk McCall will come in and do quite good stuff. Lamont Crowley. NFL though, let's see what we got. So Marvin Harrison Jr. was the highest, and then Brock Bowers went at the 3rd overall pick to the Trey McBride Zach Ertz Cardinals, where they already have tight ends. Chris Meyer, are you joking? Caleb Williams. No, Caleb Williams deserved to be an 80 plus overall, so I'll make that happen. Kool-Aid McKinstry. Amike Egbuka. See, I butchered it the first time around. I got it the second time when I'm actually looking at it. And Blake Corum I like quite a bit, but yeah, there's like a few guys in here that definitely need a little tweak in there, and nothing I can really do about it right now except go and change Caleb Williams, and that's all I'm going to change. Wow, I've never seen green interest in this game pretty much, other than 1st round pick, and they have a green interest on Justin Fields, them being the Bucks, who drafted Bo Nix down the board. I'll look around, but I think it's just going to be the Bucks, right, to trade Justin Fields to. Done deal. We upgrade a 3rd into a 1st round pick with Justin Fields, and basically acquire Matt Fielder, who we don't need, just for cap reasons had to do it. We'll do that, and then I'll adjust Caleb Williams ratings real quick. And don't worry, I made a draft class last year, so I'm not like destroying the player. Okay, I'll make him, you know, somewhat sensible. And what is the style? Like, this guy sucks at making draft classes. Put your time into it, put your back into it. And here's your Caleb Williams, number 3, because he rocked the 13. And so here's your Caleb Williams, and hopefully you guys like the look of it, because it's a lot better than it was. I'll just say that. And then development tree, I'm gonna ruin it for everyone. I'm just gonna make it superstar X Factor, right? Like, he's generational. He's like, I don't understand. Like, if you guys are gonna get mad at me for this, I'm gonna be floored, but I don't understand that. Yeah, what is this? His break sack was like all the way down here. His break sack is insane. His ability to extend a play is like no other. Throw under the pressure or throw under pressure. And I'll even lower this stuff down a little bit. I mean, this looks just fine to me. Am I wrong? Like, are we joking? This looks a lot better now. So the rebuild basically starts now, and it will reveal the superstar X Factor here, Caleb Williams. And then Marvin Harrison Jr. I want as my wide receiver 2 for now. He'll play up to a wide receiver 1 at some point, but I guess we did need a right guard. Well, not really. Nate Davis is here. I forgot. Other than that, I mean, we look great. Roshan, I'll see if I can develop him in his first year here as a running back, or the rebuild. I guess the rebuild basically starts now. It's not really 2nd year or anything. And then okay, so Williams will not play edge rusher. That's just not how that's gonna work. We'll bring, who do we have? We have someone that can come down. Oh shoot, Dominique Robinson. I remember names. Don't get mad at me. But yeah, team looks pretty good. We're in a good spot now. I'm gonna make Tyreek Stevenson the top corner, and then I'll put McKell underneath. Then we'll have Maddox and Gordon, which will work for me quite well. And then I'll set the depth chart. Kinchins will sit behind Eddie Jackson for a year. And other than that, maybe moves Noah Sewell up to left outside. I've just got a few things I got to do, like little things, you know? And this is absurd to me. The fact that Roshan is a 55 overall 3rd down back, like, absolutely kills me. He's so good at catching the ball. And, I mean, they just don't see that, I guess. So you guys already saw the team, but I just set it in the right spots. And then we'll see what we're doing at mid-season. And then maybe make a trade or two with players that maybe just not in the picture anymore. I forgot to change playbooks. So that's that. Looking at 2 and 5 is not a fun sight at all, and I know that Caleb Williams numbers aren't gonna be good. Damn it, dude, I forgot. I mean, Caleb is as good as he gets for these sort of playbooks. You're playing in a Justin Fields role, and I'm sure he's got a few yards on the ground too. Roshan's leading the team here, as it seems to be the right idea. I mean, Khalil Herbert's averaging 0.1 more than he is, so I'm not really worried about it. Receiving, DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison getting quite a few reps. Cole Kmet, Darnell Money. defensively, anything exciting happening? It doesn't really look like it. Ngakoue is doing a good job. Unique Ngakoue. I don't know why I'm like barely pronouncing these guys' names. And Javon Dexter, I gave the starting role to, and he has not been doing great with it. And Marvin Harrison Jr., superstar X Factor. So I was not expecting that after seeing Caleb Williams was superstar. I thought that he gave like Brock Bowers superstar X Factor or something. So I don't know. It's what it is. Obviously superstar X Factor is good, but we'll look at players ready to negotiate. And if there's anyone that stands out here that I'd consider trading, I'll trade them. And then there's no going back. So it looks like Eddie Jackson and then Cody Whitehair are definitely up on the block along with Matt Feeler. And anybody else want to get traded? Tevin Jenkins, I want back very long term. And if he'll take this deal, then that's good, but he will. So that's good. We have Tevin Jenkins for the long run. I offer Jack Sanborn like a lifetime backup role. Don't want Khalil Herbert. I'm not overpaying for a 79 overall star development. Running back, that's 26 years old. Just not happening. And then we'll see how Big Cat does by the end of the year. Avonte Maddox, same thing. And then I mentioned those 3 players that we're looking to trade. Done deal. 4th, 5th, Eddie Jackson across for Lewis Seen, who will sign to a new contract. He will develop over the years, and then we'll trade him once he's a high overall. So the rest of this, they're playing checkers. I'm playing chess, Malachaka. I get a 2nd round pick out of this too. So now it's time to choose a national focus scouting thing, whole thing. I'm just gonna say national scouting focus. I don't know what's going on with my brain right now, but it needs a little bit of work. Maybe see a brain surgeon soon. Who knows? Still waiting to the playoffs. Actually, wait, I want to stop. I changed playbooks now, but I want to keep it a bad record as long as we are going to be drafting this year. You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink. It's called tampering, or if you want to call it tanking. That's right. I was actually looking for tanking, not tampering, but words came out of my mouth and I just dealt with it. So now we'll simulate to the playoffs and see the results of the season and all that bullshit. You gotta be joking. We're 9-8 on Chicago playbooks. It's a lie. It's all a scam. I don't know what's going on. Caleb Williams finishes the season 2,600 yards, 20 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. Rushing Roshan Johnson was actually pretty good, all things considered. We might just lead with him as our lead back. Caleb Williams was fine as well. Receiving, Marvin Harrison Jr. led the team with dog shit nothing. And then defensively going around the board here, looking for things that stand out. And Unique Ngakoue does. And Leonard Williams was good. 3 interceptions apiece for Edwards, Edmonds, and Maddox. And then 2 for Brisker and Mikkel and Kitchens. And 1 interception for Tariq Stevenson. So much for tanking, right? Well, let's go ahead and get it over with. Let's lose to the Rams in the wild card and just be done with it. Of course we win. You got to be joking. Are we gonna beat the 13-4 Philadelphia Eagles now? Thank God. So Lewis Seen, yep, of course we'll accept that option. Khalil Herbert will walk. Sanborn will walk. Big Cat was pretty good this year. I'll keep him around on a 1-year deal. It's gonna be expensive, but I'll pay it. Oh, we never got to trading Cody Whitehair. Well, I thought we what's going on here? Did we do that? No, we just traded Eddie Jackson actually. Now that I think about it. Okay. That was a bummer move by me. I could have gotten more out of that. Okay, we're going after 2 people, and that is Darius Smith for a year and David Njoku for 2. If we're going to be switching to KC playbooks, I'd rather it not be Cole Kmet. I'd rather it be David Njoku playing that tight end role. So we'll go ahead and submit the offer. We didn't get Zadarius Smith, but we will get David Njoku. So that's good news for us, and I don't really have much more to report with. Caleb Williams is looking really good, except his play action. So, I mean, that is what it is. I mean, you can't do much about that, honestly. You know, the CPU just upgrades and upgrades and upgrades whatever's the best. And right now that's improviser. So he's just chilling right now, I guess, but the rest of the team looks pretty good. I'm gonna need Marvin Harrison Jr. up to that wide receiver 1 spot, and looking around, like, we need center, and that's really the only thing that stands out to me on defense or on offense. But on defense, we could use another linebacker. Any sort of D line would help. Corner's actually pretty good, and it will be better in a couple years anyways. We have the 4th overall pick in this draft, lucky me, and we'll look for people here. So this is a power rusher, Devin Minor, with an interesting look here. Elite speed and A power moves, C zone coverage, A tackling. It looks interesting. If I knew his block shedding, I'd be a little bit more ambitious to go up and move towards him. But other than that, doesn't really look anything insane. I'm probably just gonna trade the picks I have. Oh, we can get Sauce Gardner. That would be fun. That would be really fun. Get Sauce Gardner up in this this joint. That'd be 2 first-round picks, Justin Jones and Chase Claypool. We'd get a 3rd next year, a 5th next year, and it looks like this year's 7th, and Sauce Gardner. See, I'm more than willing to do this because that would secure one side. Yeah, but that's really not a position in need. I'd much rather have like defensive line. Like, but do I want Sauce Gardner or do I want to ensure the rest of my team's going to be good? Give me Sauce Gardner. So we'll be on the board here. And like I said, just looking for positions in need at this point, which probably just won't be as strong. And Deion Justice doesn't look bad. And he's not a position in need. A guard can come in and play center for us. So this guy with good strength and a really good athlete, elite, but yeah, I've seen enough. Give me Kevin Callahan. He'll come in and play center for me for sure. I'm gonna have the next Nick Bolton right here. Or C zone and C man, B play rec, A hit power, A tackle. Give me a Deion Justice, and then I'll think about playing him at linebacker. He's severely undersized, but I'll think about playing him at linebacker. And like I said, have the next Nick Bolton type player who's a really good tackler and can play at a high level, but not as greatly sized as other guys. Alfonso Matthews. Now this guy gets really interesting. Look at his scouting report. He's 6'3", 203 from Purdue. He's round 1 to 2, and he's dropped to this point. He can't be a good athlete. He is elite jumping, great speed, great acceleration, B press, D play rec, B man coverage, A to C awareness, C catching, A to C zone coverage, and he's a man-to-man archetype. So probably C zone coverage, B man coverage. At this point is a very good pick. Give me Alfonso Matthews. Normal development sucks ass. Player like him should always be hidden development, but there's always that one off time, you know. Draft recap. What do we get? Okay, Callahan wasn't great. Deion Justice was pretty good. Alfonso Matthews was really good, and then down the board nothing special except Trevor Bush. Love to see that. 69 overall and a last name like that. I mean, we're looking good. But Kevin Callahan wasn't as good as I thought, but good for the 2nd round. And to be honest, all those picks are great for where we got him. In another year with 2 first-round picks, we have 2 third-round picks, a 2nd, a 4th, 5th, or 2 5ths, 2 6ths, and a 7th. So we've got a loaded draft class coming up, and now I'm going to look around and look for pieces that are possible trade pieces to just get another linebacker, because it bothers me that we don't have one. Okay, wait, never mind. We got Jack Sanborn back somehow. Like, what in the wizard shit's going on in this franchise? Jack Sanborn, I didn't touch, I didn't sign back, I didn't anything. We have Jack Sanborn back, and I have nothing to do with that. That's pretty bizarre. And look at this corner room, by the way. That's pretty funny. Done deal, a 3rd. Kyler Gordon, Avonte Maddox is good. This is the steal of the century. Nolan Smith and Jordan Davis are now Chicago Bears for a 30-year-old slot corner that we don't need. Kyler Gordon, who's on the last 2 years or 1 year of his deal, and a 3rd-round pick for a superstar development defensive tackle like Jordan Davis and a game-changing athlete like Nolan Smith. You gotta be kidding me. What a trade. So I think this is year 2 with Caleb Williams. So we're heading into year numero dos, if I'm not mistaken, with Mr. Caleb Williams. So yeah, this would be year number 2 with only 1 year of experience. Superstar X Factor Caleb Williams, and we obviously have Superstar X Factor Marvin Harrison. And then we're just, like I said, running Roshan at running back. He worked last year over 3.5 per carry. I think he might have just been at 3.5 or 3.4. But other than that, I mean, the center obviously is a place that needs some improvement if Callahan doesn't really work out. You know, it doesn't develop fast enough for my liking. Then, like I mentioned with those KC playbooks, we're going to need a better tight end than Cole Kmet. And then we brought in game changers like Nolan Smith and not Jalen Carter. That would be Jordan Davis, the counterpart. And yeah, Sauce Gardner is now on the team, by the way, like something that kind of just got underlined and didn't really talk about it too much. So that will be the team. I'll make sure everything's set in the depth chart and scheme wise, and then we'll be on our way. So we start off 3-4, obviously not the best way to start a season, but I'm sure we'll see Caleb Williams numbers and be, nope, not actually that too impressed. 1,500 yards, almost 1,600, not great, but not bad by any means. 12 touchdowns with 3 interceptions is really good. Rushing, Roshan, just around that 3.4 area. Zonovan Knight seems to be doing a little bit better, Bam Knight, if you will. But 7 touchdowns for Roshan's really good, and receiving, DJ Moore is actually getting the chunk of it, with Marvin Harrison kind of falling out of line a little bit, and Njoku's getting quite a few touches. I think he leads the team in both receptions and maybe touchdowns. Oh, it wasn't really. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. And then defensively, what do we got here? 7 TFLs for Nolan Smith at 6.5, starting his all-pro season. What's going on here? This looks insane. Unique Ngakoue off the other edge seems to be creating quite a bit of pressure through the interior. Leonard Williams doing similar numbers as well. Alfonso Matthews, the Purdue 6'3" tall slot corner, comes in and gets an interception. One for Sauce Gardner, one for Kinjins, and Mikel and Jaquan Brisker. So all looks good, and we'll be right on our way to the playoffs. Or, I mean, obviously I have to do some of the business stuff. Okay, kind of a loaded class. Darnell Wright, Nolan Smith still need to be back, and I'll do my best to bring back Nate Davis, Leonard Williams, Unique Ngakoue kind of on the line there. I don't know if I'll send him back. TJ Edwards, if he doesn't want to be here, I'm not too worried about it. Sanborn, same thing. Braxton Jones, I want back. Jaquan Davis, DJ Moore, and Sauce Gardner. And we have 148 million to do so, and hopefully we can get some of these deals done now. So we get a few guys back, but Sauce Gardner, DJ Moore, and Braxton Jones all don't want to be back here, and I'm gonna have to do a lot to convince them. And I haven't even attempted with Unique Ngakoue and Leonard Williams. Moving on, we finished 8 and 9 on the season, which I don't know, is that an improvement? I feel like we went 9 and 8 last season, but Caleb Williams was underwhelming. Not these big booming numbers that we were all expecting. 3,900 yards, 29 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. Kept it nice and light. Roshan was not that great. Might have to go search for another running back option. 11 touchdowns on the season is good. Only 1 fumble. Njoku actually led the way in receiving yards, touchdowns, and receptions in general. So good for him. But DJ Moore was next up, and Marvin kind of getting the short end of the stick, with Darnell Money not getting too much attention either. So I don't know. Offense will have to work something out. Tackles on the way around, like, they look good. Like, I like seeing that much production, but not really at the same time. You know, that's kind of flip and flop. Jordan Davis, so 16 TFLs, leads the team with only 1.5 sacks next to him. But Nolan Smith, 15 TFLs, only 1 off the lead with 12 sacks. What an amazing season Nolan Smith had. Leonard Williams, Big Cat, 6.5. Unique Ngakoue, 5.5, 3.5 for Dion Justice, and interceptions, 3 for Carmen Kitchens, 2 for Edwards, 2 for Gardner, 2 for Brisker, 2 for Stevenson, 1 for Mikel, and 1 for Matthews. And we'll have one last chance to negotiate with Sauce Gardner, and I can't even afford letting him hit free agency, so we'll give him a ton of money. And here's DJ Moore. We'll probably have to do the same thing. I will actually lower the years on this and just give him, can I try something here? I'm going to try to overload his money just for the next 2 years. And he says he thinks free agency will be better. Well, can we franchise? Nope, not for $34 million. And I'll accept Darnell Wright's option. And same with Nolan Smith, who's become quite the player. Braxton Jones, another player I wanted back. Give him 5.5, 7.5. Way too much for a tackle like this, but we'll do it. We got the money too, and I'm pretty okay at managing money. Leonard Williams is just gonna play here another year. It's just gonna have to happen because he's just too good. He's just too good to let go. He's been good and doesn't really regress too much. So that will be the team, and we'll have to go ahead and get DJ Moore back in free agency because I would never let someone like him walk. TJ Edwards will look for a replacement, and Unique Ngakoue off the other edge of Nolan Smith will look for a replacement for him as well. I actually have a realistic shot at losing DJ Moore here. Probably should have done the thing with the franchise tag, but yeah, we're probably not getting DJ Moore back, which that's a crushing hit. Targeting DJ Moore, like I said, not the greatest chance at getting him. And Jake Ferguson. Ian, why are you paying so much for Jake Ferguson, they ask me. Well, I called him being good out of Wisconsin, and now that he's entered the league and he's getting that starting role, he hasn't been anything special or anything I really hope to be. He's been solid, very solid, and only looks to go up. Great words from Dak on Jake Ferguson, but I finally get a reality where he's like a superstar development, great player at 27 years old. I'll take it. Carl Granderson, I want him on my team. Leo Chanel, I want him on my team. That's my TJ Edwards replacement. He's probably not quite the same caliber player, but he's good. And then Tyrion Davis Price to come into play running back for me. He's got just a bit more of that speed element to him. I'd be more than happy to welcome him in to the team. Now that I think about it, we really don't need him. Hang on. So instead, we'll overpay a little bit and go with Alvin Kamara as our running back option and just try to bring in a pretty loaded class. Go ahead and evaluate these offers. I have a very high feeling we won't get back DJ Moore, as we don't. So Leo Chanel, Alvin Kamara, Carl Granderson, and Jake Ferguson all on the team now. And I actually had a few players that I would maybe wouldn't mind going after here if they are still here. And one of them is. So yeah, I guess we'll only just be going after Elijah Moore. So let's just do that. And yeah, we got Elijah Moore. No, we didn't. Where the... No way, he chose someone else. I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it. We just started a shit franchise, and that really just shows. Okay, well, we'll have to deal with that. We pick at number 10, which is actually pretty low for where we finished this season. And I'll just look for players that I like. And here's Joe Faison. And it doesn't look anything special, actually. He doesn't look too enticing, to say the least. He looks fine, but I don't know. I mean, he looks good, right? But I don't think it's anything like even worth trading up for or anything like that. Okay, I found my guy, Antoine Childs, the running back that runs a 4.24 and has a juke move. Like, everything looks insane on him. And we pick at number 10. He's projected at 15. I have a feeling he'd go before number 10. So yeah, we'll look around and evaluate our options once we get deeper into this draft here. I'll just go one by one. I knew it. I was gonna trade up as another Wisconsin guy too. I want a Wisconsin, man. You gotta be joking me, man. I was gonna trade up to the spot. I was like, I'm gonna gamble this one, and I know the Jets are solid at running back, so they're not gonna take a running back. I can't be more stupid. And now that we missed out on him and we have 2 picks here, I don't want to click on Logan Tanner here. So we have 2 picks. I forgot we had the 2 first-round picks. We have 10 and 15, and our real pick's actually 15. So we traded for this 10 pick. I'd be more than open to trading. So what we can do here is we can move down 19 spots and then pick up a first next year from the Ravens, and that is what I'll do with this 10 spot. And hopefully the Ravens enjoy this pick. I will just simulate 1 pick ahead to make sure that they get a good player. Bob Taylor, wasn't a fan of him. And no one really looks good until we get down to George Killings, which is a very fun name, but I don't know. Just a different player. Elite strength, then you can look around. He looks good. Like, he can always be like a 73 overall as well, but I think I like that pick, and that's pretty far way down. So we'll trade this one away as well, as I just am not a fan. So this is a huge investment in the future right here. So they want to get this 15th overall pick in 2026, and they're going to give me their first rounders in both 27 and 28, them being the Falcons. And that seems to be the leading offer for me right now. We get 2 first-round picks. Gimme. And Killings is no longer on the board, which I expected, okay? I'm not going to be like, oh, why didn't you? Like, okay, like, listen, I know, all right? Like, I just knew he wasn't going to be here, and I was perfectly fine with that. Because instead, there's Justin Richards, who, great strength, elite jumping, 4.44 speed, A spec catch, B short route, B catching traffic, C catching, B release, D medium route scares me a lot, as he's a physical wide receiver. So I don't know. B deep route's fine. Medium, you know what? We're here to have fun, and Justin Richards looks like that have fun sort of player at the back end of the first round pick, or back in the first round of the draft here. And as long as I can't find anyone else that I would prefer, then I think we'll go with him. But who's this guy? So it's probably between Cordell Abbott here, who's got elite speed, said Goodell, not a fan, and didn't go to his pro day or scouting combine. B catching traffic, B catching, B release, C, A, B. It just looks better. Give me Cordell Abbott. Is a normal development player. It kind of stings. And we already have a similar player to Abbott's play style, so that probably wasn't like the overall best pick you can make there. But I'm just looking for good players. And speaking of good players, look at this guy right here. B lead block, A pass block, A block finesse, B pass block power, run block, and then run block power and finesse. Jeez. Oh man, I'm just gonna take him. Give me Gabe Dillon, the center, 86. He looks very athletic too. Here's another good interior offensive lineman. Here's, at least he looks good. He could be ass, like actually full-blown ass cheeks. But he's got better upside than the other guys I'm looking at here. Maybe not this guy right here. Gary Dickerson, B awareness, A impact block, B, A to C, A to C, A to C, B to D lead block. And he's an agile archetype who's got, I'm looking for any sort of power, but we really don't know. I guess Gary Dickerson would have the highest upside out of all these guys. Give me Gary Dickerson, the right guard out of Oklahoma State, 6'3", 232, 21 years of age. We're getting trade offers for Tariq Stevenson. Yeah, up yours. I'm not taking those. Give me draft recap. Cordell Abbott was really good. 75. Gabe Dillon was fine. Gary Dickerson was fine. And then we have a 73 overall running back down the board with 94 speed, 92 excel. Great drafting by the CPU. Love to see that. Chase Kowalski. I don't know. It looks good. He looks like quite the athlete, actually. California, left end. Love to see that. And wow, we had quite a few draft picks down the board. 70 overall wide receiver right here as well, Tremaine Rowland. And that will be the draft class. It was actually pretty solid. So our tight end room is way too good for no reason. Give me Ferguson up at the tight end 1 spot. Offensive line looks pretty good except for that center spot. And then Nate Davis really just killing the vibe with his normal development. Marvin Harrison will be the wide receiver 1. I'll try to play him in the slot as we're looking at Tyler Scott. Caleb Williams, Kamara, Johnson, Israel Boniconda is here now, but I want Greenberry playing over him. So I don't know. We got a lot of weird dynamics going on with this team right now, as Abbott will look to, I don't know. We'll keep Abbott underneath Tyler Scott, I guess. Darnell Money and Marvin Harrison. So we lose out on DJ Moore, which is a huge loss. And Kinchin's up to superstar development, and so is Mikkel. So we're doing a really good job developing these guys, if you had to ask me. Nolan Smith should be a superstar if it was up to me. And we have Granderson now on the other end of him. Chanel, Justice, and Edmonds are the linebackers, and Jaquan Brisker will just continue to be that steady, strong safety for us. That's the team that I want. 5-2 team at the midseason mark, the best so far, and we've always improved in the second half of the season, meaning we have big things ahead of us. 1,700 yards, almost 1,800 for Caleb Williams, 15 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. A little bit more interceptions that I'd like. Alvin Kamara is running pretty good, but Roshan Johnson is running terribly. So hopefully, or glad that we got Alvin Kamara, and hopefully he can keep it up. Receiving wise, Marvin Harrison Jr. leading the team with Ferguson not too far behind him. Darnell Money getting quite a few reps as well, just not doing as much with them. Kamara and Tyler Scott's even playing a role. Good to see Tyler Scott finally stepping up into a role. Leo Chanel here playing in that sub linebacker 2 spot. And Nolan Smith once again showing off what he's got. 5 TFLs and 6 sacks to start the season off. Next up is 2 for Carl Granderson. So sack production's gone down. Carmen Kitchens leads the team with 2 interceptions and a few guys with 1. Oh, big class. 2 options that we have to accept. I'm not accepting Caleb Williams. I want to get that contract negotiation done as soon as possible, and we do have to keep that in mind because he's going to take up a lot of our cap space. So Leonard Williams, gone. I don't care. No Sewell, get out of here. Granderson, out. Rashawn Johnson, probably gone. As long as he retains no interest. If he gains interest, then sure, I'd be open to it. Same thing with Javon Dexter. Tyler Scott, probably gone. We have the same player just lining up behind him. Kamara, gone. Lewis Seen, you're coming back. I'll negotiate with you in just a second. Tariq Stevenson, same thing. I want him back. Njoku can actually leave, and I would not be scared to trade him right now at all. And not bye-bye Tremaine Edmonds. Edmonds is coming back for sure. But I'm going to go ahead and trade, or try to, David Njoku. Dude, look at how good Antoine Childs is. He's not even playing, and he has 86 overall. You got, like, dude, that would have been the best pick ever. But unfortunately, we didn't get there. Done deal. Callahan, I think our first pick in the draft last year, not a first rounder, but our first pick. And David Njoku across for superstar development. Patterson, and so that'll do a little bit for us in our favor to get a little bit better of a run game. We just sell an old ass tight end that was going to leave the team anyways. Tremaine Edmonds is back for, I believe it was around 15 mil a year. So he better be enjoying that contract. I swear if he isn't, then I'm going to have some issues with him. Lewis Seams, same thing. He's back as well. Maybe overpaid a tad bit on him considering he didn't have too much, or considering he had a bit more interest than I may have negotiated with. And then Tariq Stevenson, I'll wait till the end of the year on him. Kamara can walk, and then the rest of these guys can as well. Granderson needs to really step it up and play well, and if he doesn't, he'll be walking for sure. And then not accepting Caleb Williams option and or Marvin Harrison, because those will be 2 massive contracts. What I tell you, we always improve in the second half, and we did big time. 13-4, somehow not the #1 seed, but 13-4. I will happily take that. Caleb Williams, second in the league in passing yards, 4,300. He takes that 3rd-year step. 43 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions. Wonderful season. Darius Patterson was really good and quite the piece that we needed. For sure. Receiving, Marvin Harrison was really good. Jake Ferguson was even better, man. I love to see Ferguson lead the team in touchdowns as well with 12. Really good to see. Defensively, who led the team in what? Carl Granderson with 12 TFLs, Nolan Smith with 11 and 13 sacks. Nolan Smith will continue his dominance, and Carl Granderson was meh. Leonard Williams was very meh, and Leo Chanel was fine, nothing insane. Carmen Kitchens, Kinchins, I should say, with 4. interceptions, 3 for Gardner, 3 for Brisker, 2 for Edmonds, 2 for Mikel, 1 for Chanel, 1 for Justice, and 1 for Alfonso Matthews. Really good season all the way around. We're happy to see those numbers, and we'll move along with it and see if we can beat the Giants at home, at our home. We're in Chicago, and we beat them. And now we have the divisional against a pretty good Atlanta team, all things considered. I think we are a tad bit worse, but I was gonna say it shouldn't matter, but it did, and we lost. Caleb Williams for MVP. Love to see that. Absolutely amazing stuff. I guess that's all we have on that recap sheet. And look at this man, Caleb Williams, 96 throw power, 97 accuracies, or I guess everything's getting boosted a little bit, but I mean, are you joking me? This is exactly what the Bears need in real life, and they are nowhere even close with Justin Fields. He's ass. Like I said, we're ignoring these options, especially when they have no interest in re-signing. No interest in re-signing. I can't speak. Tariq Stevenson's actually quite ancient at this point, which is very surprising, but I'll give him more than enough money for him to stay for the next 2 years. Tyler Scott, Javon Dexter now has interest, and he's actually worth quite a bit. Not worth signing, I'll tell you that much. And then some of these guys, not worth it. Granderson especially, and Leonard Williams will walk at 33 years old. Not really too interested in having him back. So now that Leonard Williams is gone, we'll have to look for a replacement. And Milton Williams is here. What's his block shedding at? It's an 81. And Leonard Williams was at an 80. So we'll look at Milton Williams as a player of interest. I'd only want like a 1 year on him. That way we're not really held under a lot of money for a quote-unquote high-level player at the position, because that money cannot be locked up, because we need that money. Toli Tuipulotu, by the way, shout out to him. He's been playing so well in real life. Someone I was very high on coming out of USC. Thought he'd be like a borderline first-round pick. Ended up being a pretty early second, and he's been showing out for the Chargers in real life through the first 3 games, especially in these last 2. And you know, he got an opening due to injury, which sucks for the guy ahead of him. But man, Toli is tearing it up. But 10 mil a year is just not even close to worth it for a normal development. 79 overall, when I can literally go get Carl Lawson for less. And obviously you don't have that stability, and Toli Tuipulotu would really be fitting our scheme, and our other opposing edge rusher would be Nolan Smith. We just have a ton of speed coming off. I'm going to just talk myself into a deal. Never mind. Toli Tuipulotu, he has other offers, and the Saints are paying, like, they've got to be paying him bank, and he must have a lot of interest in going there, because that would be a tough offer to beat. And other than that, I don't think that I want anybody else. So the players we're going after here, Milton and Carl Lawson. So I mean, I expect to get them both. Honestly, like, they should play big roles, as Milton's getting approached by the Chargers and take him. So yeah, we lose out on an interior lineman, and who do I want to replace him? We'll go after Eric Armstead. We should bring Eric Armstead in. Welcome to the team. Superstar X Factor, 33-year-old. Hopefully he can still get it giddy up, because honestly, we're gonna need it. I was expecting and hoping to have a little bit better picks, but we are at the 24th overall pick. Did not want to quit franchise mode, no thank you. And we have the 24th, 26th, 29th. Wow, what a draft class we're looking at here. Jesus. It's fine, there's no one really at the top of the board, and this guy's only like around 1. He's around that 10th spot. But look at his name, Thad Schwartz. Who names their kid Thad Schwartz? Okay, hey Thad. Now this guy down the board to a 1 to 2 talent, he's listed at like number 33. B awareness, A spectacular catch, C short route, or I guess C for all the route running, A catch traffic, B catching, B release. He's got to be a very moldable receiver as well. So we'll go ahead and just simulate to our first pick in this, because I'm not really looking to trade up, but if we ever wanted to do it, now would be the time with 3 first-round picks. No one really strikes me as a good player other than Nick Wallace at this spot. So we will just pick the physical, I believe, physical archetype 6'4", 218 out of USF, and he's got elite jumping, great agility, solid acceleration, and good speed. Not a great combination of, specifically, amazing traits on the athletic side, but Nick Wallace comes out as a hidden development, 91 speed, physical receiver, out of USF, and I'm more than happy with that. And we'll look to trade these next 2 picks for something of value, because these picks have 0 value in my heart and in my brain even, and I think in other people's brains. Done deal. These 2 for current first-round picks for what should be a top first-round pick next year. This is a pretty bad team. This is the Cardinals we're talking about, and in 2029 we get a first there as well, and they have the 3rd pick in the 2nd round. Good luck. And Josh Gallery could be pretty good, but also could be another one of those like 70 overall players, and he must be an agile archetype, I was going to say, because if you look at his power, it's obviously not that great. Pass block power at D, and then run block power is B to D. B to D lead block, if that's a D and awareness isn't as high as I'd hope, he's going to be a bad player, but I think he's worth the gamble here if I can't find anyone else. I was going to say no one really strikes me with interest, but 39 picks down the board from this spot. There is an elite speed, jumping, elite agility, great acceleration, good strength, B catching, B hit power, A pursuit, A zone coverage, A tackle, A to C awareness, A to C block shedding. His power and finesse moves aren't looking to be great. Pass coverage, outside linebacker. Dominique Wise, that's interesting. When do we have our next pick? It'd be the 32 picks from now. You know what? Screw it. Like I said, we're here to have fun. Let's go draft that guy, and hopefully it turns out to be pretty good, because this guy right here looks like an interesting type of player. So we'll take Dominique Wise down the board. Hidden development, 89 speed. Come out and play an interior linebacker. It's a 4-3 linebacker. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, he would basically play a cover linebacker instead of an outside linebacker who would rush the passer. Now, this is interesting. Nick Perkins, who runs a 4.59, which is obviously not great, but C awareness, C block shedding, C man coverage, A hit power, C tackling, A to C zone coverage, A to C play rec, A to C. He could be really good. I'm just going to take the gamble. Give me Nick Perkins, the safety. Yeah, not that great. 84 speed. I'm curious what his block shedding would actually come out to be as an overall wise, you know, like as a rating instead of as a letter grade. But we'll let the CPU handle the rest, and I'll give you guys the draft recap. Draft recap: 75 overall Nick Wallace and Dominique Wise. He was really good. Nick Perkins sucked. So that's that. Other than that, nothing really going on. I do want to check the rest of the NFL, see how strong this class was. It was ass. Yeah, Jeff Patterson, who I looked at, Oregon corner or Oregon wide receiver, he's a physical archetype. Joe Charles was the best pick here, and he was the 23rd overall pick in the 2nd round, making him the 40. No. Let me do quick math. That'd be 55. Suck. Yeah, and then in the 3rd round, there was Zach Sims, who was a 77 overall. 3rd round, Eddie Daly, who was a 3rd round pick. 4th round pick, Devin Hammond, 76. You gotta be, what? We missed out on a lot of these guys. Meeks, that's a fun name. Yeah, you kind of go down the board here and just make your fun of it, because it was not a good draft class at all. And this will be the team right here, as they have Cole Kmet playing over Superstar X Factor Jake Ferguson. Get out of here. Superstar X Factor Jake Ferguson will happily be playing over there. And Dylan, Superstar Development, love to see that. Greenberry, Abaniconda, and then obviously Patterson, the guy we traded for, who finished off last season quite well. Nick Wallace, who's up to a 76. I'll play him over Abbott pretty comfortably. I don't think that there's any question. He's a lot like our top 2 receivers, and Abbott really isn't anything like them, but he's just, in my opinion, probably going to be the better player in the long run. And then you can go around, compliment this team. Honestly, we've got a really good one around us. Defensively, Kinchin's up to Superstar X Factor. We got great boundary corners, an opposing edge like Carl Lawson to a Nolan Smith. Great duo. They oppose each other pretty well. They are pretty different, so we've got a very diverse defensive line. Along with the interior guys, we got 2 massive human beings that are just beasts, and Superstar X Factor. Tremaine Edmonds, Wise, Chanel, and Justice. I want Wise playing up a little bit, and then Bush is actually developed into a nice piece here, and should see Lewis Seen, or did I not bring him back on accident? Oops. That could be my bad, but other than that, we have a good team. Wow, what a start to the season. Yeah, 3-4. What a way to do it. But Minnesota, y'all suck. 0-7. Yeah, okay. That's what they're on track to do in real life, by the way. They suck. I mean, watching them is okay. Well, they have no interest, no re-sign interest between Marvin and Caleb Williams. So you know what we have to do? We have to overpay like a shit ton to one of the two of the most paid or highest paid positions in football. Kinchin should be generally easy to bring back. Same with Darius Patterson. Mikkel would be really easy. Nolan Smith. But the only thing is, these are a lot of contracts that we have to bring back. This is not a nightmare, but definitely not what I was looking forward to this season. And Nolan Smith has been every bit as worth as the contract I just gave him for $9.5 million over the next 7 years. He's been so good, and I just want him to know deep down in my heart that I care for him. That's kind of cringe. Moving on to another contract that we really didn't need to go that all out on, but Mikkel will be back. So our core offense: Caleb Williams, quarterback; Marvin Harrison, wide receiver; Darius Patterson, halfback, which would be our running back; and tight end Cole Kmet, are all needing new contracts and have zero interest in re-signing. This is yeah, I didn't even want to look at this until like I had to. And so, well, what are we gonna do? We're gonna have to pay a lot of money to a very good quarterback, and this is just absolutely freaking ridiculous. I was looking for a better fit, but I'll reconsider a $48 million a year contract. Thanks, Caleb. And Marvin Harrison Jr. was generally easy. He's $16 million a year. Yeah, that's not easy. It's not easy to give up that much money, but he's a great player, great receiver, and I'd like to have him around for the long run. Darius Patterson, probably, yeah, he's going to be worth quite a bit. We just traded for him too. Yikes. Okay, you gotta be shitting me right now. Darius Patterson and a 3rd overall projected pick is not gonna go through for Antoine Childs. Yeah, no, I'm not paying more than... You gotta be joking. Antoine Childs is that good. He's 23. We have to. Oh my god. Done deal. Cole Kmet and Patterson across for some superstar X Factor Ness and another backup tight end and a 2nd round pick this year. I can't believe we missed out on Antoine Childs. That's gonna haunt me till like I can stop like trying to, remember about it. It's just in my brain right now. It's in my head. It's taking me over. It's like I'm dying at the moment. Like I'm literally disintegrating in front of your eyes. So Ness, as I mentioned, comes in as a superstar X Factor, which I personally like, and then we just downgrade at the backup tight end position quite a huge margin. And Dickerson might come in for Nate Davis next time Nate Davis really sucks or anything like that. And I don't really know, not much else we can really do, can we? I guess we never looked at the season stats, and unfortunately we didn't. Caleb Williams is blowing it up. 1,700 yards, 14 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. Rushing, Ness really hasn't got too much on the ground, but when he does, he's pretty good. Receiving, Marvin Harrison up over or close to 600 now, and Ferguson getting a big chunk of the receptions as well. Nick Wallace playing a very involved role, and Darnell Mooney probably a little less of an involved role. And defensively, Dominique Wise leads the team in tackles. Nolan's not really playing up to that level that he has in the past, as Tremaine Edmonds is leading the team in sacks, tied with Carl Lawson and Eric Armstead, and only 3 interceptions to go around. So really lackluster on the defensive side of the ball, and I would assume that's why we're losing all of these games, as we have one of the better offenses in the league. Then we have one of the middle of the row defenses in the league. So hate to see that, but we'll be off to the playoffs. Let's see if we can beat anybody ahead of us and still make the playoffs despite losing 5 games in the first 8 of the season. No, we finished 7-10 to finish the season. Not good. Caleb Williams, 4,119 yards, 34 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions. Got worse, took a little step down. Matt Ness in a full-time role obviously isn't ready 100% there, or he's not 100% there yet. And 3.4 per carry is not the best. And Marvin Harrison Jr., 1,300 yards. Ferguson, 918. And then take a big step down, or a couple steps down, I should say. And where the hell? Okay, Nick Wallace is down here. So Abbott actually played very similarly to him just the second half, since I didn't put Nick Wallace above Abbott again. So there's just a few things that are to look at here, as Matt Ness actually had a good receiving year. Defensively, Edmonds comes back and leads the team in tackles, as I forgot to put Wise back in. Could have won Defensive Rookie of the Year, but I'm just stupido. And Carl Lawson, 16 TFLs, 8.5 sacks, led the team in both. And Nolan Smith tied for the lead in tackles for loss at only 2 under the team lead for sacks, and then Eric Armstead didn't produce too much in the second half. Sauce Gardner was fine. Alfonso Matthews, sure, and a few guys with 1 interception. So nothing to really write home about and nothing to celebrate. And this will be our last chance to negotiate here with Caleb Williams, as he was highly considering this offer after not having too much interest in coming back. I want to go 26 over 26, put half on both. So this contract is massive. This is $53 million on average a year through the next 7 years. No one's more worth it right now than Caleb Williams, so that's a good offer. I'm glad we got the deal done, and as am I, as we'll just yeah, waste our whole cap room on a quarterback. It's not a waste, obviously he's gonna carry us and stuff, but it just sucks watching that chunk of money get blown into the abyss and just paid to one player. We'll go after DeAndre Swift for a year, Leonard Taylor, I believe, for a year, maybe 2, and then Zach Harrison for a year. Yeah, Leonard Taylor will have to kind of patch up where Eric Armstead left, which isn't going to be a huge deal, but Zach Harrison, very lackluster edge, and he's not even particularly good at rushing the passer. He's good at stopping the run mainly. That may come back to hurt us, is having him on one of the edges, but good athlete. I loved him coming out of Ohio State, and we get all 3 of them. They all had pretty high and particularly high interest in the team, and it's just the best way to spend our money right now. So we do have the 5th overall pick in this draft, giving us some opportunities, if you will. We have the 7th overall pick in the second round, 14th. Okay, so we can make something happen if there's someone at the top of the board that I like. I'm not letting another running back that we let go. I already forgot his name. This guy right here, power rusher Cameron Rucker. Power rusher with B block shedding, A pursuit, B finesse moves, and this is the guy right here, Cameron Rucker. I don't know when he's supposed to go, but he is projected down the board quite a tad. I don't know. Oh, I don't know what to do here. I don't know if we trade up significantly. We'll go number 1. Hopefully he doesn't go off the board. Okay, so it's that guy off the board. Please take a quarterback, please. Thank you. And then now this is where we might want to trade up to. I'm going to be honest. I don't want to miss out on another player. Done deal. So we'll move up to picks for just one of our second rounders this year, and try to get the best player available. And in my eyes, that was Tucker, and it wasn't like close, or it was Rucker. My bad. Cameron Rucker, 6'5". Boston College, B block shedding, A pursuit. What was he? He's a power rusher archetype with B finesse moves, A to B power moves, A pursuit. He just looks good. Give me Cameron Rucker. You gotta be joking me with normal development, man. He looks so good, man. I don't know. I don't know. See, the thing is, I'm like typically good at drafting, or like meh. But this rebuild has been a struggle bus for me, for sure, as I will just go ahead and simulate down to my 14th pick and see if anyone suits the pick, and if not, as you guys know, not scared to trade it away, as we also have the 17. And yeah, I don't like my odds here, because 1, I've been really bad at picking draft picks and just drafting in general in this rebuild. So I'm not going to take my chances. I'm going to trade my first round picks. I know it's boring, blah, 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 blah. Especially with 0 cap space, we'll probably just be trading it for future picks anyways. I don't know. I'm not sad to let him go. I would like to bring in players, but there's just no one that I like, and that's a big issue. Done deal. Next 2 first round picks from the Browns, who have the number 1 overall pick in this draft. And so we get the next 2 from them, their first round picks, and then a second round pick next year as well. And they can have these picks. I feel like we're a little underselling those, but I mean, hell with it. We really don't need them. Marquise Allen, what a surprise hybrid. So C to F zone coverage is definitely worrying, but B man coverage, B block shedding, B finesse moves, B hit power, B tackling. And look at his athleticism. He is quite good. So someone I'll definitely consider. Now I think about it, we really haven't drafted too much D line either in this. So we'll try to get 2 in just 1 draft here with Pat Lambert, who is a defensive tackle, quite athletic, B awareness, B play rec, B power moves, B finesse move, B block shedding. Yeah, he's just gonna be the pick. Give me Pat Lambert, of course. Normal dev. I'm so pissed off about that. That's annoying. Does anyone want to go back and count how many times I just said that? Because that was a lot of that's. Ooh, we might have just found a diamond in the rough here. This is a run stopper with A power moves, meaning he has to have great block shedding, and his block shedding is B to D. So he's got to have B block shedding, A play rec, A power move. Give me Paul Richards. Love to see that. UCF. 98 strength, run stopper archetype with A power moves. I'm telling you, this guy might be really good. F finesse moves, I couldn't give a crap. Draft recap. So 74, and that guy sucked, huh? No, this is the defensive tackle right here. He's actually tied for our best player. So Rucker actually is not as good. Maybe he moves up or down overall is when we move him to edge. Lambert was fine, and Richards was pretty good. So this was our defensive line draft. We just go trenches from our first round, second round, and third round picks, as that's good to see. What's the rest of the class looking like? It looks pretty weak. Larry Stevens was the best player at 78, and then just drops down to 76 within 3 players. So yeah, not the best overall draft class, but it's fine. So Caleb Williams near a 99 overall now. 97, we have Ness, Swift as well. I forgot what we got. Swift, Harrison Jr., Wallace, and Darnell Mooney. So I mean, we got a good team with us, especially with Jake Ferguson. He hasn't developed great. Obviously, he's like 28 or 9 at this point, so he's been in the league a little bit and up to superstar X Factor, and is very viable as a tight end for us right now. Probably will be for like the next 2 years. And yeah, we'll basically make our best run at it. Darnell Money as a wide receiver 2. I'd like to have someone a little bit better, but safeties are great. You know, linebackers could be better too. And defensive end, looks like we just got our momentary replacement with Rucker in the draft, and then Nolan Smith Jr. obviously has been killing it, and we have a few pieces on the middle that we could look to utilize here either in the future or, you know, even just this season. Great corner room. We've got a good bunch of 4 to help and enforce with the top 2 as well, but both superstar development, and Sauce Gardner being the best player on our team and one of the best in the league. Let's go to the midseason, see how we perform, and you know, work with this 87 overall team. And that's the Bears way to do it. Start 2-5, obviously not good. Wish we were a little bit better. Caleb Williams throws for 1,600 yards, 11 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Rushing, DeAndre Swift is kind of meh. Could be a lot better. Not even 3.5 per carry. Receiving, Marvin Harrison Jr. doing what he needs to do with Jake Ferguson getting utilized, like I mentioned, quite a bit. Not a whole lot of touchdowns to go all the way around. Who is giving up the most? 11 sacks from Darnell Wright. 7 from Jones. What? Are these normal numbers? It doesn't... That is not normal numbers. Holy shit. Well, we figured out what's wrong with this playbook. Holy moly, dude. I did not expect to find that. 5 TFLs for Nolan Smith along with 6 sacks. It looks like the same stat line every year. Cameron Rucker, 5 sacks, 4 TFLs. Backing him out great. And Jordan Davis been doing what he needs to do. Not anything special. Luckily, not a whole lot of, like, it's not a big, huge free agency class. We can let guys like Zach Harrison and DeAndre Swift walk. Leo Chanel could definitely walk. Darnell Mooney, I'm fine with letting him walk, even though I'll trade him actually right now. Same with Tariq Stevenson. Deion Justice, I want to bring back. Alfonso Matthews would be nice. And then Matt Ness, we can probably just sign back right now for a tiny chunk of money. He probably won't be worth all that much. It's just $4 million a year. Done deal. 2 firsts, and we still actually have a first left over, and it's projected to be one of the better ones. Darnell Mooney, Tariq Stevenson, and a second across for Bijan Robinson. So much for that. Matt Ness, as he'll probably be blown out of the water by now by Bijan Robinson, who will come in, play a significant role, as you guys probably have guessed. So basically, we've paired Caleb Williams with Bijan Robinson and Marvin Harrison Jr. Could you imagine in real life? And Jake Ferguson, by the way, superstar. So yeah, we have an X Factor here, an X Factor there, and an X Factor here, and an X Factor there. I don't understand. We're killing it right now. And like I mentioned, we still have the 5th overall pick, a 40, or the 40th projected overall pick, which would be the, I believe, 8th pick in the second round projected, and then a 3rd, a 4th, a 5th, a 6th, and 7th. So it's like our draft class never even got touched. So all of that trading down we've been doing in the past years has just piled on to be a you know, a future investment in Bijan Robinson, really. Done deal. DeAndre Swift across for some superstar development Howard kid at corner. I'll be more than happy with that as well. So Bijan Robinson, Ness, Harrison, Ferguson, Caleb Williams, obviously a really good offensive line. I wouldn't say really good. It's a pretty good offensive line. And I'll change the playbooks and intentionally suck, which is AKA tanking for the rest of the year. And then obviously our defense looks stellar, and Rucker hopefully can win that defensive rookie of the year. So I'll keep the defensive playbook on, but the offense, I'll go back to Chicago Bears. So we actually had a very good run game. Leads me to believe that, you know, Bijan Robinson was quite good. and I'm sure he was. 1,600 yards. This is exactly what we needed right here. And Caleb Williams even propels for 630 on the ground, which is nuts in its own right. And Caleb Williams did just about as good as you can do on this playbook. Receiving, Ferguson was good. Harrison was really good. Nick Wallace was really good. You know, Abbott, Bijan down the board. I want to see the blocking numbers. Give me so yeah, tackle duo. Jesus, they let up a total of 20, or what, that was like 31 sacks. That was definitely 28. I don't know what I'm on. Dominique Wise leads the team in tackles. I was hoping for defensive player of the year or defensive rookie of the year last year, but couldn't quite get there. Nolan Smith, 16 TFLs. That's really good, along with 11.5 sacks, 11 DFLs for Jordan Davis, 1.5 sacks, and Rucker with 8 sacks, 10 TFLs, no interceptions. That probably would have helped him with the defensive rookie of the year voting. And it was not. It goes to Josh McLaughlin, the defensive rookie of the year, that is. So unfortunately, Rucker does not get that instant upgrade, which would have been so very nice. Alfonso Matthews, the, I believe, Purdue corner, is back, and Dion Justice, I'll look to do just the same with him. Maybe a little bit more of a steep contract here. He's happy to sign. And I'd like to push some money aside, and that is going to happen with Bijan Robinson. Are you kidding me? We're going to restructure his estimated cap space, so we'll be up to 4.42. So yeah, we'll push Bijan's a little bit. We'll wait for that to really go down and happen. We got a lot of expiring contracts, but even when we don't, I'm looking for higher overall players that can push their cap just a year down the road. Leonard Taylor is a great candidate for a restructured contract, just to give us. Oh wait, we can only restructure one contract. What type of BS is that? Well, there would have been our running back right there. Christian McCaffrey just staring at us. And here are all of our targets right here. So we're going after absolutely nobody. I was thinking about Matabuike, which plays the left end position, but we'd slide him inside and he just basically replace Leonard Taylor. But I was like, nah, we'll hold off on that and save our money, because it could be important down the line, you know? So just saving my money, restructured contracts basically for nothing. Off to the draft we go. We have the 6th overall pick. Very good to know, and very good stuff. Around here, I'd look for like straight A players, which honestly are not here. The only people that come close right here is Jose Estrada, and we already have a nice quarterback. He has elite throw power. He's gonna be good. Estrada, definitely gonna be good. Looking at the top here, Jacob Austin. If you are a second like player on the whole entire draft board as a tight end, you're gonna be good. Great athlete. A to C. B to D carrying is a little worrying. Obviously, I'm kidding. The only other guy that would be kind of in play to trade up for would be Chris Quincy, who's got solid strength and looks well-rounded, exactly, but not like he looks strong in some areas and kind of average in others. Definitely not worth trading up for. We'll go to number 6, see what's available to us. I'm glad I traded out of the draft class. I don't like a single soul I see other than the top 2 corners, but newsflash, we're really good at corner. We don't need Alex Moss nor Chauncey Hendricks. And quarterback Ensenada, or okay, that was probably racist to some extent. Estrada, okay, Estrada is going to not be a Bears quarterback, although I could trade him and just get back great value. I'm highly debating it at this point, but I think we'll just trade this pick away. I could just say no to this right here. We get a first next year from the Texans, a first 2 years from now from the Texans. Give me this one, along with some additional, you know, extra late round picks to sweeten the deal up. I mean, it really does nothing, but we'll go ahead and just get on with it. Eric Stevenson runs a 4.31, ran a 4.28 at his pro day. Washington State receiver, deep threat. A route running, C spec catch, F medium route's a little concerning. But right here, you're shooting for the stars, and Eric Stevenson is definitely stars, and I'd be shooting at him. So probably looking to draft him. He looks the best, you know, right now. Maybe this changes. Listen, I know I'm good on corner, but Lindsey Marshall is a one of a kind. 6'3", 190. So long and lanky, nice and tall. B man coverage, B zone coverage, C press, has got good athleticism, not great, but good athleticism, especially for the size. His play rack might be down, but his awareness could really project where his overall would be at. So I don't really know. I think I'd rather just shoot for for the stars with Eric Stevenson, so I'll do so. He's gonna have normal. Oh, he's actually. So I'm just gonna jinx myself every time now. It'll be meant to be if anyone fell to me all the way down here. If someone did, I probably wouldn't be opposed to drafting them, but I don't see a single corner that I saw last time around that I would consider drafting. Ooh, Johnny Saxton looks a little interesting. A to C, C, A, and then B to D. This could be scary territory. It is very scary territory with F lead block. Ooh, Martin Gibson, the fastest and a great strength guard with B awareness, A impact, blocking, B to D, B to D, C, C to F, C, A to C, C, A to C, A to C. I'm just gonna do it. You know, screw it. Like I said, we're shooting for the stars, and his upside is huge, probably at like a 72 overall, and that'd be good enough to replace one of our guards at some point. Let the CPU take the rest and give you guys the draft recap. Draft recap, 75 overall, Eric Stevenson. So we did shoot for the stars, and we landed there. Martin Gibson's a 72, and then the CPU went ahead and drafted a 70 overall running back in the 4th. And then remember, we acquired 2 future firsts, one next year and the year after that. So we're gonna be stacked for the future. Maybe look to make a trade at the mid-season of this season. We need help. But other than that, I'll set the team up, let you guys see the team. I'll present it to y'all. Oh, there it is. Paul Richards, the guy we drafted last year. I don't remember if you guys remember, or I don't know if you guys remember, but we're going to look at what run stopper needs help. Yeah, block shedding's at 74. Give him some run stopper archetype. Looks like a darling. I don't know why I just said that, but yeah, superstar development, good drafting by me. That was last year's number. No, we actually drafted another D tackle in front of him. I think it's even like a 3rd round pick. I believe in Stevenson so much. He's becoming my wide receiver 2 right now. Great offensive line. Ferguson, Robinson, Marvin Harrison Jr., along with Caleb Williams, obviously. And then on the defensive line, we'll raise Paul Richards and Rucker, superstar dev. He went from normal to superstar one off season. Don't know how that's possible. We also have the Howard kid, superstar. Sauce Gardner, superstar. Mikkel, superstar. Nolan Smith just needs that superstar season. He needs to get up and over that little hump that he's just missing by this much. And I think he can do it this year for sure. And then for slot receiver, I'll change that to Marvin Harrison, change the playbooks, and I'll let you guys know how we're doing at the mid-season mark. We start off 3-4. That's 1 win and 1 less loss better than last year. Try saying that 10 times fast. Caleb Williams starting the season, 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions is good. Bijan up at that 700 mark, really carrying this offense, going for 100 a game on average. And then Marvin Harrison Jr. doing the hard work through the passing game, 31 catches, 373 yards. And Nick Wallace actually playing a big role. And Stevenson hasn't done a great job this season. And sacks allowed. Okay, only 3, and this one's from our interior. So our guard is actually letting up the most sacks, instead of 11 from Darnell Wright again. That was something to see. Rucker really taking and embracing that edge role and being that lead guy, as he has 8 TFLs, 2.5 sacks, and that leads the team depressingly. Yeah, that's a bit sad. I'll check the numbers on offense and stuff and defense. So we have the number 19 offense and the number 31 defense. Not a good way to start the season. And we're broke. We have no money to make any negotiations whatsoever. And we just drafted some guy to take over for Richards. This guy right here, or not Richards, Gary Dickerson if we need. And then we'll trade away Leonard Taylor. Cordell Abbott could also be. Nah, I don't want to trade him away because we're going to need him this season, and I want to make sure he plays a little bit of an increased role. So we're looking to trade Leonard Taylor mostly, even though despite, that huge interest, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's a 27-year-old, 80 overall, I think star. He could be normal, but a good defensive tackle, and you're telling me no one has interest? Bullshit. I'll be forced to take a 3rd for Leonard Taylor, I guess. We could have just kept him on the squad, but no reason. If we can accumulate draft capital, which we'll most likely need because of the lack of money, so we'll need to draft someone. And yeah, we just don't have the money to sign Gabe Dillon. We incurred the penalty from that last trade, and Dickerson might just be on his way out. We need someone to retire. Someone retire, because I can't separate myself from some of these guys without incurring a penalty. I need some guy to retire, someone worth a lot of money, and then we could use that money to re-sign back into the team. We finished 8-9, which isn't like horrible, all things considered. Caleb Williams wasn't great, 3,400 yards, 25 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, not amazing. Bijan was great at the end of the season, nothing like super great or well on pace for over 1,800 yards, whatever. And then Ferguson, Abbott, Bijan, you know, like there's a few guys that got involved. Nothing insane. Defensively, Edmonds leads the team in tackles just by 1. And then 16 TFLs from Cameron Rucker, 16 from Nolan Smith. And then Cameron Rucker up to 8 sacks and 4 for Paul Richards from the interior, 3 there. And Jordan Davis has really been a non-factor so far since acquiring him. So now we're down negative 4.6 mil. And not a whole lot we can do anymore. So just, yeah. I don't know, I think I saw something to accept an option and accept option for Nick Wallace. Yes, please. And I don't think we should have any more of those. We don't. You know what actually probably happened now that I think about it? So there's been this glitch going around where you choose your playbooks and then it actually shuffles to the one over, and it did. It fucking did. Indianapolis. Oh my God. See how I was on Dallas playbooks? It was on the Indianapolis playbooks. That makes a lot more sense. All right. Yikes. God damn it. We're gonna lose out on Gabe Dillon. So we get to the good old whatever you want to call it, the freaking free agency period. I finally found the word for it. And then we're gonna lose all of our money. So yeah, that's that. Or we're gonna gain some back actually, and it's just not enough to bring in Gabe Dillon, so he'll unfortunately have to walk. And Felix and DK Uzama would be huge if we actually had money. He would be quite fun to bring in. Other than that, not real interested. Josh Allen's really good, but not an option. So we're trying to keep it as cheap as possible, going with a guy we offered a 7-year deal with. I went like this and then got it down to 1 and then 1 and it worked. But instead, I'll give him like a good old 4-year deal. This should actually do quite well with him. So we'll try to get, I believe, Henley and Scruggs on very cheap deals. Scruggs just for 1 year since he's 30. And we actually have competition for Henley, but it won't be a problem. We'll brush that right off and bring him in, of course. And Juice Scruggs will sign. Yes, sir. Juice Scruggs and whatnot will play a very, very bridge type of role. We actually have the 12th pick here in this draft, and we have the 12th, 16th, and 17th pick in this draft. And the 17th, I believe, is ours. And good, there's just some meh quarterbacks towards the top. And then this is where it gets interesting. So the guy like Roosevelt Young, I think we're just gonna play the best available game, and then if there's seriously like a worse situation, then we'll trade out of it. But other than that, it's kind of like a best player available you know, competition really. See, now this guy looks good, but it looks like the exact same guy we drafted last time around with the F medium route. A spec hedge has got some certain characteristics that don't remind me of good times, if you will. Ricky Griffith looks really good. B block shedding, B play rec, A power moves, C finesse moves. So nothing like insane, or he's not a crazy like bendy athlete. He's nothing to go like right home about. But I don't know, I don't think I don't want an edge rusher. That's one place that we're actually like pretty steady right now. Ooh, okay, so now Drew Poole looks really good. B pass block, C finesse, B pass block power, A run block. He's got a few things to like. He's got great strength and he's very not athletic, but Drew Poole, welcome to the team. Normal dev, you son of a bitch. Well, we double up on offensive line here with this guy, as yes, this guy looks muy bien. Mwah. Run block, finesse, and power kind of worries me, as he seems to be quite the pass protector, which is what we could need. So give me Charlie Blankenship. I'm fine with that. You got me a tackle here. It's crazy because we have both tackles still. I don't really know what I'm doing with that. How did I miss this guy down the board? He is 5'10", 196, 22 years old out of Ohio State. Running the 4.2s pretty safely. Elite jumping, A catching, B press, B man cover. It looks like the best player available, but we don't need corner. Corner and edge seem to be the two best positions available in this draft class. We don't need either of those positions. And let me come to think of it, you know, Sauce Gardner's still good. The other guy's good, Leather or whatever. And then someone else, yeah, we're really good at corner. We don't need Jacoby Burns. Yeah, I'm not really finding much I like in the close future of, or a close area of our draft pick here. So I'd be fine trading away for a next year first, though. 2031 first. And okay, so here's something I'd be, nope, that's 2 years down the line first. See, here's a team stupid enough I'm willing to trade with the next year first, and a year after that first for a mid first round pick this year. And sure, the Niners are probably good. I'd rather be picking in the back of the first round twice than just the middle of one once, you know? This guy right here, Braden Clinton, The A catch of traffic, A catching 6'3". He runs really well with great speed, good strength, great jumping, great change of direction, good agility, and great acceleration. B break tackle, B spec catch, A catch of traffic. I've seen enough. Give me Braden Clinton, the possession tight end out of Florida. And here's someone I wouldn't mind on my team right here. So you see this guy right here, speed rusher out of Boise State, B pursuit, B tackling, B to C block shedding, and runs fine. He's like pretty fast, but B finesse moves. Like I said, we don't need edge by any stretch of the imagination, but he's on the board here. And this guy's just made a very compelling case for the top guy. So he's a pass coverage middle linebacker with 4.42 speed. That's first in the whole class out of the interior linebackers. His awareness could be bad, but if it's good, this guy looks like he could be close to like a 74 overall hidden development player. Instead, normal development, I'd expect him to be somewhere around that 70 to 72 area. And the F injury is the only thing that really stands out to me, other than the run block power being C to F and his run block being C. I'm guessing he's gonna be pretty good. I don't know why I just started talking like that. Great strength. He's got great change of direction, things that I like. And you can never have enough backup offensive line. Give me David Vereen. He should be quite good, and I think I'll let the CPU handle the rest, as that was our last pick in the 3rd round. And then from then on, I really just don't care. It's very rare you find starting value as good as we are, and I don't know why I simmed to my next pick. I meant to sim to the end. Draft recap: 73 overall Drew Poole, 72 overall Charlie Blankenship, Braden Clinton was the 74 for the highest, 72 Wayne Alexander, I told you, and David Vereen 72. So very, very good, steady draft class. All right, it was fine. NFL all the way around, not a good class. Your top pick was 77. Yikes, these definitely have not been the best, draft classes. I'm losing words here. There's definitely a few guys here that I thought would be pretty good, but some that I definitely didn't expect either. I don't know. I don't know. That's one word that I'm using right now, is I don't, or I guess that's 3. I don't know. I'm lost in my own brain right now. So in my opinion, we've been really good for a really long time, and I really want that to continue, but it just doesn't seem to be possible. As wow, okay, we have a few guys. Okay, so the Blankenship here is actually a tackle that plays as a 72 overall blocking tight end, which is nuts. Nick Wallace being our wide receiver 2 obviously stinks. Stevenson's already up to a 78 overall. And we have no more Abbott anymore. I forgot about that. Ness and Robinson. Defensively, though, yeah, there's things to go around and like, I guess. Nothing stands out a whole lot to me, and not a whole lot of rookies playing, if any. I think 1 or 2 on the offensive line. I think just 1, actually. Finally, somewhat of a rewarding first half of a season, going 4-2, showing some sort of improvement. And we'll go to stats and awards and check out what sort of improvements that is. And Caleb Williams isn't throwing for anything super special either. 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. Bijan's running for 7.5 per carry the first half of the season. Unheard of numbers right there. Receiving, Marvin Harrison Jr. really carrying the load, and Jake Ferguson doing a good job through the air as well. Nick Wallace's role kind of a lot less than I expected. Defensively, Nolan Smith 10 TFLs to start the season and leads the team in sacks with 4 as well. Jordan Davis next up with 1.5. Paul Richards and Cameron Rucker really slacking so far to start the season. No interceptions whatsoever. And let me check this right here. It's Darnell Wright with 5, but it's not 11. That's always something to be happy that you improved on, not approved, improved. See, we are to the point where we are really good now, and it really sucks because 38 million to, I mean, I can let Braxton Jones go. Jaquan Brisker, I'd probably want back. Ferguson, I'd want back for a year. Edmonds, same thing, but they're all getting to that age. I think we could just like actually reset here. So 32 years old, 31, 31, 31, 32, and then we have these guys down here, Wise and Howard. Plus, we'll have to pay Wise as a freaking outside linebacker because this game, or as an edge rusher, because the game's so stupid. Doesn't realize how stupid the game is. But other than that, I would like to trade away some pieces, like for sure. Just not smart when we're in a winning season already. And Jaquan Brisker, if he wants a 1-year deal, I'm fine with. Come back on a 1-year deal. I'd be just fine with that. We'll need to save money to sign back Marquise Howard. And then Edmonds, like, he's still so good, I wouldn't mind negotiating with him at the end of the year. And Ferguson can walk because we just got that Braden guy. And then Braxton Jones can walk. We already have a replacement for him and Jenkins. And then Scruggs can be gone. We'll accept Rucker's option. and hold that negotiation off for another year. Probably wouldn't be the smartest thing to do, but we're pushing money down the line, and that's smarter than you know, just spending it all right away. 13-4, what a season for us. So we're back on top here, as Caleb Williams doesn't even throw for 4,000 yards, but goddamn near close. Damn near close. That's interesting. New one. 3,989 yards, 30 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. He's so good. Bijan, 6.5 per carry. 20 touchdowns. Yeah, that's exactly what we needed on this team. Eric Stevenson, breakout season alert. Marvin Harrison Jr. was also quite good, but not better than Eric Stevenson. And Wallace was good. Ferguson was great. Defensively, though, yeah, Tremaine Edmonds will continue leading the team. But Nolan Smith, 23 TFLs, 9.5 sacks. I love to see Nolan Smith doing what he's doing. Paul Richards was, Richards was really good. I was going to call him Richardson. And Cameron Rucker ties for that team lead in sacks, and all those coming in the second half. I think he had like 1 in the first half of the season. So can we beat, what was it, the Commanders here in the first week of the playoffs? Watch this. We're gonna lose, and then I'm gonna laugh. No, we actually won. Okay, so Chicago versus Carolina, and if we win this one, I'll jump in, but no guarantees. Carolina is actually a pretty good team, hard to beat in simulation, and they beat us. Hey, look, we were coach of the year. Bye-bye Fields. That's me. That's me. We won. Yay. We're so close to like a 10-year rebuild right now. It's actually crazy. I was thinking about doing a 10-year rebuild. It really wouldn't be that difficult, especially if I stretch it out through a couple of days like I already do with these normal rebuilds. This one's gone on especially long because I have faith in this video doing well. So I want to make it as good as possible, as we will accept Cameron Rucker's option. Marquise Howard will have to overpay on. Edmonds, how much do you want? He wants 2 years, like, let alone. I'll give you this, and if he doesn't want that, okay, he'll be back. Good. And then we won't have enough money to bring back Marquise, and then Braxton Jones will walk. We already went over this, so we just need to get basically give the rest of the money to Howard, who we would be comfortable. Can we get him down? We can't get him down even close to enough. He would never take that. So he's gonna go play for a new team, and I'm not franchise tagging him for $22 million. Not happening. So we'll basically be going after 2 DBs, one being Alfonso Kitchens, superstar development, strong safety. I don't even think we have Jaquan Brisker, or if we do, I don't know what happened to him. He is not listed on the depth chart when you click on it, but let's go ahead and see if we can get both these guys. We don't. We miss out on the superstar safety, which is fine. Like, I'm actually kind of okay with that because, I mean, I don't know why I'm okay with it. I just am. Wow, we are looking rough on the offensive line now. Holy, yeah, we're not looking as great as ever. Clinton's down now. Wallace, Williams, Ness, Robinson. We've lost kind of our core here, and there it goes, finally. Nolan Smith up to superstar dev, so we have a whole superstar back line now, as Fulton is now a corner for us. This will probably have to be the last year. I'm not gonna lie. Probably just trade for some bizarre good safety and then run it with the final team, because I don't know, man. I don't know what else to do, really. We actually have the 5th best pick in this draft, putting us in a great spot. 1 to trade for one hell of a stud, or 2 to trade up for someone tremendous, like this guy at the top here, Dante Curtis. Yeah, freaky. Holy shit. And of course, dude, this is the draft class that has all the studs in it, dude. You gotta be like joking. We got the 28th, 13th, and 5th overall pick too, so we got 1 in the beginning, 1 in the middle, and 1 at the end of the first round, which would be really good, but we don't need any of these guys. We are as good as we're gonna be, and like I said, probably headed into the last season. Gosh darn it. Done deal. So a lot to move up 4 spots to that number 1 overall pick. Next year, 2 firsts, and then this year first, our 5th overall pick, and then a 3rd in 2031. Jesus, I can't talk. I'm not even gonna finish that. Dante Curtis, despite the C to F block shedding, I really don't care. I really couldn't care less. Elite everything. A's all over the place. Give me freaking Dante Curtis, man. This guy looks insane. And I think we'll just try to find the best offensive line available, or a best offensive lineman available, and take him. Elite strength. This guy's got a lot to like and a very high ceiling. Give me Chad Rush. Normal dev is a shitty sign. George Overton. Great strength, elite speed, great jumping, elite change of direction, agility, and acceleration. A impact blocking, A awareness, A lead block, B finesse moves, or B run block finesse. And he's got got some question marks around him, but Overton's good with normal development. The whole point of this was to try to get hidden development so it looks better as like on screen. You know what? For the fun of it, you know what? I'm gonna close my eyes. Mine are dead shut, and I'm just gonna start scrolling up and down, up and down. Oh, I just hit the left button. Okay, we landed on this guy right here. We're gonna draft him, Dom Addison. So 86 speed. What does he know? He's wow. He can actually be pretty good. Enough things go our way. Hidden development or normal development is not a good sign though. We'll see what he is in the draft recap. Draft recap. What did we get? 80 overall. Dante Curtis would come in and be great immediately. Chad Rush was a 73, Overton a 72, and Dom Addison was only a 67. And then a 75 overall defensive tackle out of Clemson, run stopper archetype, really late in this class. Good to see the CPU excelling. We'll refresh the lineup here and just put in the best players we have, and Poole being that. Harrison over here, Wallace over here, Stevenson will pop up, Bijan, Ness, Williams, tight end, Braden Clinton. Defensively though, amazing stuff all the way around. And Curtis, it's going to be a bummer that we're not ever going to find out what your dev trade is unless we go look, because you don't play enough snaps to see. And that's a for sure thing. He obviously wouldn't. So is he a superstar X Factor? He's just a superstar, which is kind of good. It's better than a superstar X Factor and me being this like the last episode of the rebuild. I really just wanted to go up and draft a stud. That's all I wanted to do, and that's all we did do. And then that defensive tackle here. But I'm curious what overall rush end he's rated. A 78 already. That early in his career is pretty sick. Other than that, not a whole lot to go around. Curtis really would not do well or fare well on the inside, especially as a rookie without too much abilities or anything going in his direction. So that will be the team for the final season against the league. We have defied all odds as a Bears team who never does well, by the way. We flipped the script here. Have to change literally everything about the team to do well, but we're doing well. 5-2, like I said, we're doing well. Don't worry about us. The Chicago Bears, we're doing well. Caleb Williams, 1,500 yards, 14 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Had a great career so far. Bijan's kind of taking a little bit step back. He was averaging 7.5 this time around, I think, or like maybe 6.5. I can't remember. Or this time around last year. And then receiving, Marvin Harrison leads the team by a fair margin in both. Who the hell is Kendrick Lowry? I hate that face scan, by the way. Blocking, what do we got here? We got younger linemen. Defensively, tackles all over the place. TFL 7 for Nolan Smith, 2 sacks for him. Not a whole lot of production across the line. Rucker leading the team in sacks and only 4 interceptions. And I don't even care about players ready to negotiate, but I will check who it is to see how doable it would be. Bijan, no way I'm bringing him back. Paul Richardson, I could make that happen. Nick Wallace, he can leave. Tevin Toll, you're gone. Edmonds, leave us. Fulton, gone. So yeah, it would really just be Bijan and Richards that we'd have to bring back, and we had more than enough money to do so. Even with Bijan not being so interested and so old, I'd be willing. He's a generational guy. Of course I'd be bringing him back. Let's go to the playoffs. I'm sure we'll make it, knock on wood, and I'll see you guys there. We are the #1 seed in all the NFC, going 12-5 to start it off. Caleb Williams, 3,900, almost 4,000 yards, 36 touchdowns. It's only 1 interception. Bijan nearly near that 2,000 mark. 23 touchdowns in a single season is ridiculous. Receiving, Marvin Harrison really showed off what he's capable of this late in his career. His 8th season. Lowry, for some, I don't even know who the hell that is. Defensively, 119 tackles there, but 13 TFLs from Nolan Smith, 4 sacks. Jordan Davis, 11 TFLs, 2.5 sacks. Cameron Rucker leads the team with 6 sacks, and then 3 interceptions for Sauce Gardner. Forgot we kind of had him. He's been kind of quiet this whole time. And then 2 for Dominique Wise, 2 for Edmonds, and 2 for McHell. And yeah, we'll simulate to that divisional game, and I'll actually hop in, jump forward to the end of the game, see what sort of momentum we can get cooking. Never mind, Washington goes up 7-0 early, 7-7, and I'm sure we'll be able to flip this script pretty quick. 7-14, nothing really changing, kind of staying the same here, entering that 4th quarter, 17-7. And I'm going to super sim to the change of possession and see Caleb Williams out on the field. So Caleb Williams out on the field, obviously with Marvin Harrison Jr. now. And we'll just look to get this one to whoever the hell this guy is up the field. And then we'll be rushing out here, pushing someone up the line. Go Caleb Williams outside. Probably had enough speed to outrun some of those defensive linemen and get up in for that touchdown, but I just wasn't aware who was chasing us. If I was, I probably would have stuck it out a little bit longer. I'm going to put Marvin Harrison Jr. here on a little streak and see if he can beat any coverage he's against. And nothing really going on. Can we really make that throw and catch? We can't. Receiver's too bad, but a great throw. Play action to Bijan will roll out and then make this magic throw here on the sidelines. Not a whole lot going on. Caleb Williams isn't always on. He's not quite that Patrick Mahomes type player, but Marvin Harrison Jr., kind of a non-factor since we've been playing. And put Clinton on a little bit of a little... Can we just lob that up? There we go. Clinton, great catch in traffic. Very sketchy throw in my opinion. And then let's give it to Bijan. For old time's sakes here, just try to get Bijan up the field. Look at the quickness from Bijan getting up and up and at him, I guess. I don't really know what that expression is or anything. I don't know. Brain's off the rails right now. Let's go ahead and give it to Bijan Robinson. He's going to fumble the football and turn it over, and we're going to freaking lose this game. You gotta be kidding. And TFL in the backfield. It was the big man Jordan Davis. Now we have like a little bit of a certain thing going on here. So we'll try to get Edmonds back there. We can't, so it'll be the other guy coming to clean up. I forgot his name. Season takeaways, or I guess yeah, I guess season takeaways. We have the second most in the league. So good to see that we are coming out on top. This one, I think that they wanted us to blitz here. I'm not gonna give him the satisfaction. And that might have been illegal touching. Get Sam Howell down. He'll just throw it away. 4th and 10. They're going to be forced to go for this. They actually punted in this situation. I don't agree with that at all, but they punted. So we'll trust Bijan with it, but just have to make sure he doesn't fumble, as he did last time around. 9 rushes for 44 yards. Been kind of underutilized, if you ask me, in this. And I don't really see a reason why we just shouldn't go down and give it to Bijan. 3rd and inches. And we'll go hurry up. I don't really care about, you know, the game isn't everything. All right, I'm just trying to have fun with a little bit of gameplay. And Bijan bowls forward, gets some nice yardage. It'd be so nice to have a guy like Bijan in Titans franchise. If you guys are interested or curious what I'm talking about, go check that out, as we're going to try to get Stevenson up the middle. I think that's who that is. Play action, and we'll be zipping across here. Can we get this one happening there? And who is that? Number 81. Is that Wallace? Is that... Oh, that's that one guy. Another play action attempt, as we will have to roll out and get that escapability and let our receivers work. Dude, Caleb Williams is so easy to use in Madden 24. This is crazy. Washington went down and scored, but couldn't do much after that. That was game 21-24. I got some gameplay in, and then we'll be headed to the conference championship. I'll simulate that. If we make the Super Bowl, then we'll go ahead and hop into that as well. I don't think I need to. I think I can leave it up to the Madden gods whether or not we make it on this final season. I don't think I need to go in there and dictate what happens. And it's against the Carolina Panthers. I think we were in the same situation, same chain too. We had Commanders to the Carolina Panthers, but I believe that was in the wild card division, not the divisional, and then the conference championship. So it's up to Madden whether or not we can make it past the Carolina Panthers to make it to the Super Bowl, and we don't. So that is it, really. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you watched to this point. Go down, seriously consider leaving a like, go down and subscribe, go watch any of the past content on the channel. It's just like this, and I guarantee you will enjoy it. And that'll be all for me. Thank you guys for watching. Deuces.